Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue our series on the Beanstalk protocol. This is the second video in a series. Today we're going to do a bit of a Beanstalk tutorial, website, overview, walkthrough, whatever you want to call it. It can be a little bit confusing or a little bit daunting the very first time you look at it, so I'm going to break it down for you as simple as I can. If you haven't seen the very first video on exactly what Beanstalk is, then go back and watch this video number 1 in the series, Beanstalk Protocol. This project might create new crypto millionaires. So in this video, I just talked about from a high level what Beanstalk was looking to accomplish, how big the potential opportunity is here. We looked at some of the pros, some of the cons. I also talked about, listen, first things first, please understand, I'm an investor in this project. This is not sponsored content. They did not, sponsor me to put this together in any way, shape, or form. I've not been compensated outside the fact that I'm an investor and I'm biased to see the project do well. However, in this video, I did my best to present some of the pros and some of the cons. What are the risks associated with this project? I try to be objective anytime that I'm talking about crypto projects on my channel. I do my best to always try to be objective, recognizing that I too have bias. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please don't take anything that I say as financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a very passionate cryptocurrency enthusiast and YouTuber. Please do smash that subscribe button, click that bell notification icon, and click all. And if you can appreciate some objectivity in the crypto space from a YouTuber, smash that like button. So let's go ahead and get started. Front part of the website, pretty self-explanatory. We're going to launch the app here in a moment. This website, this protocol was previously exploited. The governance protocol was exploited. They've already relaunched. They seem to be doing well, recovered from that. They discuss it right here. You can go take a look at that. They have their white paper. I'm going to tell you right now, this white paper is legitimate. You almost need a math degree to go through it. This is not some sort of puff marketing piece that you see on a lot of projects. 61 pages. All the math is here. Everything is here. It's like calculus, pre-calculus type stuff. In the math, it's complex, but that's the white paper for those of you who need that sort of information to do your research. Most of you will be fine probably with the Farmer's Almanac. I don't think you should invest $1 in this project without reading through the Almanac. It's a pretty short read. Watch this video. The Almanac, I mean, I've personally read through it twice. I plan to read through it again just to kind of wrap my brain around everything. Once you read the Almanac, if you have any questions, you can always come to their Discord. Their Discord is one of the better Discords in the cryptocurrency space. People are having a lot of great discussions about the project, the direction of the project. It really has a community owned and a community feel to the entire project. So I recommend that if for no other reason, I think everybody should be in the Discord. You'll see me interacting in the Discord as well. I'm pretty active over there. I like to pay attention. I like to be involved with what's going on. Snapshot, this is the government's proposals. We'll talk about that here in a moment. This is the exact same video, by the way, that is inside the Almanac. And this is the blog. I recommend that you subscribe. They send out something, I think, every couple of weeks or so usually. Let's go into the app. So here we are. This brings us to a page with just a whole bunch of information. This shows us that we're currently pegged to $1 inside the 3 curve pool on curve.finance. It's the only active pool right now. There is going to be an ETH pool added soon. That ETH pool should add some volatility to the peg. When the peg's volatile, we kind of make money in the protocol, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's $31 million in liquidity. This has the potential to grow so much more. Delta B is complex math that basically lets you know why and how much the protocol is printing when it's printing. They cover that in the white paper. It's beyond my scope of understanding, to be very clear with you. This is the bean price. As you can see, the bean price has went down. It's went up. And you can come all the way out to 1 month. You can come all the way out to all. This is very fascinating. This takes you right here. It shows you that this thing went all the way up to $3 and some change at one point. That's crazy. It went all the way down to $25. When it went up here, I would love to know how much they were getting in the silo. Probably, I don't know. Someone said in Discord one time they were getting 100% slaps, meaning 100% returns. That's crazy. It went down to 30-something cents. Here's what's crazy. The people who invested into the pod line when the bean price was this low, say 25 cents, right? That means just buying bean for every dollar you invested, when it returned to peg, you made 4x your money, 400%, 4 times. But if you went into the pod line was paying out back then, I think 2,000 or 3,000%. That means you made 4 times 3,000 or 2,000%, whatever the pod rate was. That's insane if you think about it. This dotted line denotes the replant. Let's see if right here. By the way, after we replanted, we did go up and back down. I think my fertilizer investment, which I'll get to in a minute, I think I made like 8 or 10% or something on that. The pod rate, I think this is the average return on the pod line, because currently the return is much higher than this, but I think this is just showing the average return. Season means the current hour. This thing's been live 6,387 hours, and their season is what's known as a TWAP. Those of you that are familiar with that terminology with the tomb forks, they just call it a season, and it's 1 hour long. This is obviously graphed liquidity, and this shows you the assets on the platform. All right, next up, we'll go into the silo. So the silo, and I don't have much here yet because I came in kind of sideways on this protocol, but the silo, basically you buy your bean tokens and you stake them here in the silo. And I'll have a whole video, separate video showing you how to buy beans and how to stake them here in the silo, but you come down here and I did the bean 3 curve, make your deposit. And again, I'll do a walkthrough tutorial and actually show you how to do that in another video. Maybe the next video I'll do it. But when you have beans in the silo, you're earning beans from basically anytime the protocol's above peg. And it can be above peg like 0.0001, you're going to make a little bit. Every time it's above peg, you get some beans. You also get some stock. We'll discuss stock in a moment, but these are extra. Remember, every time it's above peg, the protocol pays a silo. This is where that comes from right here. All right, so now I'm going to go through this part here. This is the part that can confuse people. So I'm going to go make this as simple as possible. Earned beans. The number of beans earned since your last plant. Upon plant, earned beans are deposited into the current season. So once I basically claim them, those earned beans will go up here. Earned stock. Remember, I deposited 526 beans. I got 526 stock. This earned stock here, you earn in conjunction with earned beans. Whenever I earn beans, I earn stock. When I claim those, they will go up here. Now, only if I have $526 in here right now, so of course I'm earning it pretty slow. Plantable seeds. You earn seeds based on this right here, just for being in the LP position. Seeds right here grow stock. You get seeds, or you're incentivized. Seeds basically are an incentive to go in the different pools, the additional seeds. It's like an extra incentive. The reason that I'm in this pool is because I get extra seeds, and those seeds help me grow stock faster. And the stock is growing from this right here. So when I claim these rewards, you click here and you can either mow or plant. And it lets you know what the approximate gas price is. Right now it's kind of high, by the way. When you claim those rewards, it moves it back up here and it continues to start all over again. So what you notice is the longer that I'm in this pool, I'm earning stock. And if I'm in the 3 curve pool, I'm earning stock fast. I'm getting seeds faster, and seeds help me get stock faster. The longer that I'm in the pool, the more stock I'm ultimately going to earn. But the idea behind stock is it's both the governance token, but it's an internal token, so you can't currently sell it or anything. But it lets you know what part of the protocol you own when you're voting in the DAO, how much say you have. The stock determines how much of the beans that you get when the project is over peg and is printing bean. Those go to those of us in the silo. It's not directly based on just how much you have in. It's based on how much you have in and how long you've been in. And that's determined by the stock. I'm trying to oversimplify that a little bit for you so you can understand it. These unripe beans and unripe bean 3 curve LP tokens. This is important. I want to explain what this is, just if you're new to the protocol. When the replant happened, a lot of capital was pulled out of the protocol. What happened is someone created a governance proposal giving them all the new bean tokens, and they basically minted a bunch of bean tokens and they pulled them out of the protocol. And they stole money essentially outside of the protocol. To make everybody whole, their assets are still sitting here inside the protocol. I don't have any because I got lucky. I literally was looking at the protocol. The day I went to go in, it got exploited. True story, by the way. It's crazy. But everybody here is going to be made whole over time based on the protocol continue to perform well over time. And because those assets are sitting here, they're just called unripe assets. But again, as the protocol continues to function and it starts to pay down its debt, these individuals will be made whole. And the way they did this, I think, is quite fair because they raised money through what they called a barn raise, and they sold fertilizer. And initially, they were selling it for 500%. That's a 500% return. And at launch, it went down immediately to 250%, and it's been dropping 0.5% every hour. They have 23% of the fertilizer has been purchased. It will go down to 20%, and then it will hold. People seem to think that it will continue. People will continue to buy it at 20%. We'll just have to wait and see. I do have some, as you can see right here. I did a video talking about was I going to earn $50,000 with this protocol. If this protocol does well, I'll actually earn $91,000 just from the fertilizer, by the way. And I came in much bigger than I initially anticipated just because I was optimistic about this protocol doing well. Rentable sprouts, this is what I'm getting paid back with. But here's what's important. Those of us who went into the fertilizer, we invested in the fertilizer. We were not exit liquidity and this is what made me buy into this project initially, because I was like, wow, that's the right way to do it. I mean, there's some big brain thinking going on. If you come into the silo, we were not exit liquidity for these people. As we get paid back, they get their assets unlocked as well over time. And at any point in time, they can, right now I think they only have like a few 1, 2, 3, 4% of their assets available here. But at any point in time, they can do what's called chop, and they can just exit with their 3 or 4% and be done with it. Most people probably aren't doing that yet, but I believe as they start to get capitalized, people will take their 20%, 30%, 50%, 80%, and they'll just cut and run. That's good for the people that are still here because it's just less that they need to earn back. But I think I'm optimistic this protocol is going to pay back 100%. We'll have to just wait and see. The field. So this is where the pod line is. So this tells you right now, soil, if this thing is overpegged, soil will show up right here. And you can come here and look at forecast. I'm sorry. You can come here and click on this down arrow, and you can see how much soil is going to be minted. Right now, it's not very much. All this is based off the delta. But when soil shows up, it goes right here. And it goes pretty quick, by the way. And by, sow ETH in, bean tokens if you have them, wrapped ETH. And you can sow that in here and get some pods. And you'll go at the very back of the pod line. You'll be earning 5,216%, but you're going to be at the very back of the pod line, 763 million back there. And there's been 57 pods harvested. You would think, like, who in the heck would do this? At the current rate, it will take years and years to ever get this back. With a little bit of adoption, less than 5 years, someone could probably get that back. I mean, 5,200%, every $1,000 you get in is $52,000. Think about that. The question is it worth it? I thought it was. I mean, at least a small amount, as you can see I have right here. It'd be interesting. Now, one thing that I talked about in the previous video was how high the debt was. It's important to understand that this number is coming down pretty quickly. So as it continues to come down, it puts the protocol in a much healthier place. All right, so we already touched on the barn raise. By the way, so you can understand what happened, I brought in about $14,000. This $1,000 and this 956 in bean, which was dollars at the time, that just came back from the payback on this one. I just resowed at 239% and 233%. And now as the protocol pays back, I get rinseable sprout. Once you rinse your sprout, I don't know if I said that, once you rinse your sprout, they become beans. So 37 rinse sprout would be 37 beans, for example. But you got to pay gas fees. I'll just hold off until I have more. The market. So this is the pod market. So when you come to the field and you sow over here, you can come here if you want, and you can sell your pods. Right here you can buy, place in line, you can sort. These are the ones at the back of the line right here. These are the ones at the front of the line right now. Once the protocol pays back $4 million, you could come over here. Right now you could buy 8,000 beans, would get you $10,000 once they pay back $4 million. That's how it works. That's your spot in line. This expires in just means that they're saying, hey, we want to keep this listing up at this price until 198,000 pods have been basically paid back, or $198,000 for lack of better terms has been paid back. Same thing here, 97,000. They're going to hold this price until then. You can also come here, you can sort by pods. So these are the cheapest pods, of course, are way at the back of the line. They're not as cheap as getting soil off the field, but soil's got to be available for you to be able to buy it. Also, you can sell your pods. You can see your orders, your activity. You can also create pods, and you can create an order. There I could select that if I wanted, and I could put it up for sale. Now we'll come over to analytics, and this gives you more analytics, of course. The bean price, you can go by hour, day, week, month, year, all, volume, liquidity, market cap, supply. Go to bean supply, go to 1 month. You can see this was during the exploit. Deposited beans, as you can see, we're slowly getting more and more beans deposited. If you come to stock, this is the stock that's getting minted. As you can see, it's just growing up over time. You see these big bumps when there's deposits that come in, but keep in mind, as your deposits in the silo, you're still earning additional stock as well. This is the seeds. We earn seed in conjunction with our deposits into the LP, and then those seed that we earn also help grow stock. So there's a compound effect. Your seed help grow additional stock. Now this is the rate of return, the real rate of return that the protocol is paying. As you can see, it's been quite high. I literally sowed my pods. I think it was at 5,600% when I sowed mine. And you can see it's significantly dropping. It's going to continue to go down over time. Temperature, that's the actual interest rate that's getting paid. Somehow these two are closely correlated. But as you can see, it's dropping quick. This is the 1 week. This is the 1 month. So, I mean, it's been as high as 6,000%, believe it or not. I didn't even see it that high. And it's dropping. Oh, this was after there we go. This is after the replant, this dotted line. So as you can see, it's going down pretty rapid. That's just good for the protocol. And quite honestly, I think it increases the odds that those of us that are in the pod line actually get paid back as the debt goes down. Because when it depegs, whenever the price goes below $1, you'll see interest go up. Well, the lower that it gets, the less debt the protocol has to take on to recover PEG. The lower the temperature is, the lower the interest rate is, the less debt the protocol will have to take on to recover the PEG. It just shows us the number of pods, pod rate, sown, harvested. 57 million pods have been harvested. Total sowers. Only 1,500 people have sowed pods. That's pretty insane when you think about how much money's in that pod line. 1,500 people. Somebody has put in a fortune. If you come over here to more, bean NFTs, these are coming out. They're not out yet. This is basically for everyone who bought fertilizers, my understanding. Swap. So this is very interesting. This is just a front end that goes directly to Curve. Some people in Discord are confused. They think this is the fee-free DEX. This is just a front end for Curve Finance right now. The fee-free DEX that is coming, I'll be discussing that in a future video. That's going to be coming, but that is still under development right now. Governance proposal. Many of you may have seen this before if you've seen any DAOs at all at work. This is the DAO. I need to join it. 98 members. And then we go back to the documents. And here we are. Back to the almanac. One more thing I want to show you. If you come here and you pick unripe assets or chop unripe assets, that's for those of you that are looking to do that because you have assets over here. A lot of people I see in Discord say, where do I chop my assets? If you wanted to do that, I wouldn't recommend you do it now. You haven't earned a whole lot back yet, but that's how you would do it. Come here, click, and click on your wallet and click chop unripe assets or picked unripe assets, but leave those alone. If you have a long-term plan for the protocol and you're not trying to exit, leave those alone. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to show you how to walk through the entire process from start to finish to actually buy beans and to get them deposited in the silo. And then I got a video coming up of the development that's taking place on top of the Beanstalk protocol right now. As we speak, there's a private company already developing a couple things on top of Beanstalk. Plus, the Beanstalk developers are looking to add some additional functionality and use cases for the protocol as well. It's very exciting times. It's going to be interesting to see if they can pull this off. Stay tuned for the rest of the videos in this series. Even if you choose not to invest, maybe you'll learn something interesting about crypto. Ladies and gentlemen, decentralized cryptocurrency equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.